and salutations and welcome to another edition of the YouTube channel Too Many Plugins and Delta X-Ray. I'm your host Alex. Today we're gonna play a little bit of Battlefield 1, Aragon Forest, and a little chat about the future of Battlefield 6. Let's just all jump out of the hype train. So far, the beta I've done actually really well, but I don't want to like hype up anything. By the way, my opinions are just my opinions. I'm completely independent. I'm not sponsored with free keys or free travels or free anything. My opinion is completely my opinion. So far, the open beta have done really well. On Steam, it was an all-time peak of 360,000 players, which is kind of crazy for a. It's not even wasn't even the open beta yet. It was a preview, multiplayer preview, basically. So quite impressive, you know. The amount of players just on Steam, you know. We're just talking about Steam. We're not talking about the EA launcher, etc. You know. So yeah, really impressive so far. Now I was a little bit watching a bunch of players going and. Playing the game, some really Battlefield veterans and also some Call of Duty players, and it's like this. This is honestly what I think. The game has a lot of its core roots, the core DNA of the core ingredients of Battlefield are there, but there's a lot also about the gameplay and etc. that is pushing a little bit more to Call of Duty, but they still kept it very Battlefield-like. So you know we cannot completely complain about that. What they're trying to do over here, you know, is basically grab a bigger audience, which is not completely wrong as long as you keep the original. Formula alive, and that they have done, you know, so nothing to complain about. So nice medic, he just walked over me, he didn't save me, come on. You know, so they have done a good job in keeping sort of the original DNA alive, but in another way it's also pushing very much yeah, to more Call of Duty and maybe also yeah, a kind of gameplay like Apex Legends, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. So I'm a little bit still. I don't know really what to tell you. You know, there's a lot that I've seen that I like about it, and there's a lot that I've seen that I don't like about it. One thing is also true. Many reviewers, they are reviewing the game and they are basically just saying that. Yeah, it runs really great. One of the best optimized games they have ever played, you know. I find it a bit deceiving, you know, because most people who are saying that, you know, are running really very high-end rigs, you know. So, you know, I find it a bit deceiving of many of these content creators, you know. Oh, holy moly, let's go through the other side over there. You know, that they are claiming, yeah, it runs really good, but all those content creators are all like running really 4,000 euro, dollar. Configuration. So that I find a little bit deceiving. That, you know, it's really nice to say, you know, yeah, it runs great, you know, but on a very high-end gear, yeah. You can't expect really nothing else, you know. But how is it going to run on the mid-tier or even better, the low-tier, you know? Which is the majority of people have that, you know. So, you know, I find that always a little bit deceiving of these content creators, you know. That they say, yeah, it runs great, but you know. Talking about PCs that most folks don't have and can't afford, you know, so find that a bit deceiving, you know.
Return to the combat area.
Configurations is minimum a 6 core, I think it is, or maybe it's even also an 8 core. Who knows? just as Doom, the Dark Ages. Yeah, but I think in Battlefield, I think it's a 6-core 12-threaded, not an 8-core 16-threaded chip. But still, you need a 2080 Super or a 6700 XT, NVMe drive, you know, 16 gigs of VRAM. So, sorry, not of VRAM, of normal RAM. So, you know, I think a lot of people are still not gonna be able to run it, you know. 39, the ping is 39 over here, that is not so bad. And then also the controversy of the anti-cheat, the Javelin anti-cheat, which runs on a kernel level. That's also like, you know, you know, we're giving kernel access to corporations, you know, which is yeah. He was already over there behind the thing. Yeah, so it's a little bit difficult to say, you know. I want to be like very cautious, you know. Really cautious. Let him come through. Killed by admin. Okay, that's fine. What was that all about? Maybe because I was the last one going in for even balance or something. Who knows? We're now in the opposite team. Oh, that one is mine. Hello. Get the hell out of here, dude. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a bit cautious about it, you know. You need a really beefy PC to run it, you know. And it's then also, yeah, you know, in the review event, the multiplayer review event, you know, they went also like a lot of calling a lot of Call of Duty streamers and stuff, you know. And I don't know about that, you know. They're going really for the Call of Duty crowd, you know. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And also the hype train, you know, you need to always be very careful, you know. When we talk about the hype train, you know, then when the things get hyped up too much, you know, then it's always worrying. I'm just going to wander around a little bit. I'm just going really today for a really chill kind of play. So there is, it's like really weird. I saw now a bunch of content creators just playing, you know, and then there's parts of it where I say, yeah, this is really nice. And also other parts that I go a little bit, oh my god. I start seeing that it's way more close counter, quick action, especially in like smaller maps and stuff, you know, with a lot of buildings and stuff, you know. And then the gameplay and the gunplay and stuff starts really looking more like Call of Duty, you know. Absolutely playing dreadful over here. Yeah, he cannot save me. Brother's probably gonna die. Yes, he does.
We have taken objective Edward.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it to you. You know, there's part of it where I think they're going in a good direction, and then there's other parts where I don't think that they're going in a good direction. But that is me talking as a Battlefield fan, you know, and not a great enjoyer of, for example, Warzone, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, it's also a little bit, I'm a little bit biased in that, you know, but understandable that they keep a little bit the Battlefield formula, but they are also trying to also grab a little bit of an other market, like the Call of Duty players and stuff. You know, I think the Hell Let Loose players, they're not gonna really grab so much with this game. Well, I could be wrong in that, you know, but, you know, but yeah, they're going a little bit for that, you know. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult to say. Difficult to say. Difficult to say. They have listened to the community, you know, that they have, you know. If you look to the missteps that they performed in Battlefield 5 and 2042, you know, in that sense, yes, they have listened to the community, but, you know, I don't know, in some other parts also it is also a little bit going already into a different kind of thing. I'm not here trying to dunk on the game, because I think there's really a lot to really like about the new Battlefield. I really think that, but I think there's also some things where, I don't know, we have to be a little bit cautious, you know. And I see that they are still trying to, they don't go exactly 100% giving the community what they want. They've given them basically 60% of what they want, and 40% they are still, some things are recognized where they are still over there trying to do what they were trying to do with 2042, and you know, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, to be very honest. Whoa. Medic. It's not gonna save me, no. Yeah, so no, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, that. The graphics look, by the way, awesome. I saw some bugs still also, but as a beta, not as a release. As a preview, first a multiplayer preview and then as a beta, and it was quite polished. Just as polished probably as Battlefield 4 was. Medic. Thanks, son. Ah, man, I was going there for the dynamite. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, to be very honest. Also, again, as system specs, I find quite elevated, but in 2042, the system specs were way too high. And it wasn't really justified, but here I think it is justified, you know, at least the way it looks, you know. In that sense I cannot be really saying anything bad, you know, because it looks really awesome, but come on, man, what are you doing? So yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but it looks awesome. That it really does, you know. And the gameplay, yeah, looks also awesome. On the bigger maps, on the smaller maps, when it gets very close close combat, then I start disliking it a little bit. But that's me just also being really. I mean, I like also Call of Duty, but that was more Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare. Those ones I liked. I even enjoyed a bit Advanced Warfare. I know it was a bit more futuristic and stuff, but even Advanced Warfare was a Call of Duty I liked. Ghost, of course, not, because yeah, that was actually quite crap. But those were the last Call of Duties that I actually played. So it's Black Ops 2. There was then the Modern Warfare 3. Advanced Warfare and Ghost. These were the last Call of Duties that I played and that I enjoyed, you know. But me myself, I've always been a little bit more of a Battlefield kind of guy. So what can I say? You know, I'm a bit biased if it concerns that. But it's not that I don't enjoy Call of Duties, because I do, especially the older ones. Oh my god, I just wanted to catch the life. You know, Battlefield always have this also advantage, you know, that it comes on PC, it comes on consoles, it's always included in holy moly, included in EA games, and then also included in Game Pass, because Game Pass sells EA games also. So if you have Game Pass, you have access to all the EA games. It's of course on consoles and stuff like that, so they have always a big market, you know. They will always sell. I mean, even the 2042, which was a disaster, you know, received as a game received a complete disaster, but still they sold a lot of copies. As you can imagine, and that is also because it's on Game Pass, it's on EA Play, that's that subscription service of EA games. So you know, they have enough platforms to sell it anyway, or then not as copies, sell it as copies, but sell it more as a subscription model, you know. So in that sense, not so bad, you know. They always will sell some copies. But yeah, if you, for example, see how Battlefield 5 was received, you know. Just pull back a little bit. Pull back a little bit. Medic. I killed myself. Nice one. So yeah, they have a big market anyway. But yeah, it's a little bit. I don't know how to explain it.
We are losing objective butter.
They are going not for a modern audience, but they go for a bigger audience, which is also good. I mean, they're trying to save the franchise, you know. Battlefield 5, or Vagina as we call it, with the whole female empowerment and people of color on the German front line, you know, was already really missing the target. And then, yeah, what can I say, you know? But yeah, they're going for a bigger audience, which is fine, you know. Oh, sorry, dude. Which is fine, you know. But yeah, they are. I mean, I have to give it to them. They kept sort of the formula there of many Battlefield things, but you know. No, I don't have any more. Holy moly, medic. So to save the franchise is also not so bad, you know, because Battlefield used to be a little bit more niche, you know, and now they're going a little bit more for a for a more broad and wide audience, which is not a bad thing. If that is what it takes to save the franchise, you know, then really good. Holy moly, grenades everywhere. Thank you, son.
We are winning.
Thanks, sir. So yeah, it's all not so bad, you know. I mean, you gotta... You gotta respect that also, you know. That they're going a little bit also for a bigger and wider audience. It's not such a bad thing, but I can understand that there are some Battlefield people who are actually gonna not enjoy that so much, the direction they are going. But that they already did with 2142 and Battlefield 5. So and in that it was way worse, you know. So you know it is let's say it like this: it's a 60% return to form, basically. We don't know nothing about, they've also never talked about skins, about microtransactions. We don't know nothing of that, you know. And that's also a little bit, yeah, difficult to also see what they're gonna do when they actually really release it. So, for me it's a little bit of a mixed bag. So anybody wants to buy it also, make sure you have the hardware also to run it, because it's quite heavy. Yeah, that sometimes I find that a little bit crappy. I see so many reviews that is just people saying, oh my god, I'm playing it over here, man, it's really well optimized, it runs like a dream and this and that, you know, yeah. You know, running on a 4,000 or 5,000 euro PC, you know, it's a little bit, you gotta tell that to your audience, you know, yeah, it's running good, but guys, you know, big disclaimer, I'm running a 5080 over here and, you know, 5800X or something, or 9900X 3D or something, you know, and 64 gigs of memory, you know. I mean, you gotta say that, you know. You say, yeah, it runs like a champ, you know. Yeah, on a supercomputer, you know. That's not so fair, you know, to your viewers, you know. If it runs like a champ on a more mid-range, low-end system, you know, then you should mention it, and then you should also mention the fact that it's a low-end system, you know. But on a supercomputer, you know, that's not so fair, you know, because people get just the impression like, oh, I have the minimum specs over here. That guy's saying it's gonna run like a champ, you know, and the minimum specs, you know, is still very elevated, you know. 6700 XT and a 2080 Super and a ARC 580, I think it is, you know, is as minimum specs beefy, you know.
A sentry kit is available near your
That's beefy. These are beefy specs. And you should mention that.
We have taken objective butter.
shotgun. Nice medics. I had 3 medics around me. Nobody saved me. Some of them died actually, but...
We are losing objective butter.
Come on, Boy Scout, 40k. Hello, medic. So many medics around, guy doesn't even save me. Anyway, all narcissistic medics we have on the team.
We are losing objective Edward.
And you know, the problem is also with most of these content creators, you know, is that, and that happened with 2042 also. And I'm not gonna call names, but a bunch of really big ones, they were hyping the game because they got paid for it. And that was then for 10 days, and then everybody bought 2042. And then all of a sudden, after that, they went all of a sudden saying that the game actually is crap, you know. But that was after their marketing thing was over, and they couldn't disclose that during getting paid for it, and it was like, yeah, it's great, and at the moment that the disclosure and sort of the gag order was finished, they all of a sudden said, no, actually the game is completely crap, you know. And that's the problem, you know, with paid content creators, you know, and reviewers, and you know, that's a real problem, that, you know, a real problem that. I'm totally distracted today. I'm just here going for a chat, you know. Now, it's sometimes a bit complicated also, that, because the reality is also that sometimes these, how do you call that, preview things are really curated, really, in a way, you know, that's also for them really difficult to also pick that up, you know. But there's also situations where it was obvious that the game was completely buggy and a mess, you know. And these creators were just still, you know, encouraging their viewers to buy it, you know, while actually knowing that it was a buggy mess, you know, an unfinished, unoptimized mess. And that's what happened with 2042, you know. Keep always in mind that a lot of things are curated. Holy moly. Come on, Scout, Boy Scout. You're not gonna save me. Yeah, so it's always a little bit complicated, that, you know, the gaming magazines and stuff we can't trust. Basically, that's what it is, you know. Because they are just also paid shills, you know. But, you know, then again also, you know, we go then to YouTubers for reviews, you know, and, oh, he was in the back of me, shotgun, you know, and many of them are paid shills also, you know. It's like really complicated to get your information, you know. And in many games that sell, Sony doesn't even give a return. Steam gives a 2-hour return policy, and EA doesn't give any return policy also, unless you really have a technical issue, you know. So what can I say, you know? And so for that many times you have to go then also to smaller content creators, and then also hoping that they are not shills, you know. He run away, smart motherfucker. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated that. Today, to get your information really, to know really for sure what's going on, it's complicated. It really is. Man, can't even do nothing over here, man. Yeah, it's complicated. At least you have to give it to EA, because they manipulate the review copies and stuff with 2142, like many game companies today do, you know, that kind of nonsense, you know. So at least they are giving open betas and stuff to people. So, you know, in that sense, you know. Come on, medic. At least like that, people get the opportunity to play the beta. Then you don't get also the scope of the whole game, but you get the scope of some of the game. You know, so in that sense, this time they are a little bit more fair and believing a little bit more in the capacities of their game. So in that sense, you know, they're giving people more the opportunity to make a good bias decision. So in that sense, I also think that they themselves know that it's way better polished and having less identity politics and you know, girl, how do you call that, female empowerment stuff on it and stuff like that, and having also a formula that they have done market research and know that that's what most Battlefield players and then Call of Duty players then like, you know. So in that sense, not so bad done, but you know, it's now also very easy to win from Call of Duty because Call of Duty, you know, they went now with the Beavis and Butthead nonsense, you know. Holy moly. With cartoons in it and stuff, you know. They were already for years busy with the pink guns, and now it's Beavis and Butthead and Family Man and all sorts of cartoons literally into Call of Duty. So, which is like, I don't know what they are doing now, you know. Since Microsoft sold them, they now really went for yeah, the 8-year-olds or something, you know, the 10-year-old kids, you know, what they like, and most of them should not even be allowed basically to play a war game like that, but that's another story, you know. Killed myself also, but I knew he was coming. So yeah. And now all the Call of Duty streamers are wanting also to jump over to Battlefield 6. But then Battlefield doesn't have these kinds of tournaments, you know. I'm not seeing anything.
We are losing objective Edward.
Yeah. In my back. There was some strange screams over there. So yeah, it's a bit. The Call of Duty streamers want to come also, but yeah, then it doesn't have really those kind of tournaments and prizes that you can win in Call of Duty, you know. So it's also another kind of market, you know. Turns out that hacking happened already. Oh my god, so I killed already 6 at least. Yeah, since Microsoft, they bought everything, you know, and it's Game Pass, and they bought id Software and Activision, and since they released, I mean, sorry, you know, but I've seen completely the trademarks of the trademark of Microsoft in the latest Doom, the Dark Ages, and also in Call of Duty, you know. They're going for the new audience, you know, to get newer audiences, and they yeah, I don't know how to explain you. They're sanitizing everything, man.
We are losing objective Edward.
What was that all about?
We have lost objective Charlie.
And they're slowly taking the gore away. They're slowly putting in Call of Duty just cartoon dolls. Doom the Dark Ages is heavily sanitized. They have taken the gore away. And there you have it, you know. So it is really all for the modern audiences, and let's make sure that nobody's fifis are offended. And that's also what I had with, for example, I was highly hyped for Doom Eternal, for the Dark Ages. Not really. I really wasn't hyped for that. Honestly not.
We have lost objective Edward.
And that's a little bit the thing, you know. There's some games that you cannot be just thinking like, oh yeah, we'll just make it for everyone, you know. Some games are not for everyone. They are not games you can just sanitize, you know. You can't do that, you know. You can't make every game for everyone. You just can't, you know. Yeah, flying around on a pink dragon, you know, in Doom the Dark Ages, you know. I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know how to explain to you, you know. It's a little bit hard to yeah, I was over there on the other side.
Objective Charlie.
Most of the glory kills are taken away of that, and that game is basically just shoot parry, shoot parry, shoot parry. That's it, you know. It's was already in the back of me. What I found was really cool was Doom Eternal. They did something really interesting. They made it for the modern audiences also. Doom Eternal has actually some woke shit in it. What many people don't know, but you can play there as a glitter slayer. So there's a way of going into the game menu, and then you can change the thing that instead of if you hit an enemy, then there comes glitter out of it, and then you have some sort of a unicorn suit or something, you know. Now why have they done that? They have done that basically just to make sure that the so-called modern audiences are not gonna cry, you know. You cannot say about that game that it's not inclusive, because if you feel like playing like that, you can play like that, you know. Nobody plays like that, but you know what I mean. That is smart done, you know, but it's not forced. It's something you just need to put there in the menu, you know.
We are losing objective Charlie.
End of the round anyway. End of the round. What I'm also a little bit tired of, don't take this wrong, but there is lots of okay, we cannot here go as a squad. What I'm also a little bit tired of is armchair executives, YouTubers that are sitting behind the keyboard and telling, and I want to really make here a big disclaimer about this. all of that what I'm just saying before is all just me as a stupid Battlefield fan, because for me it's really stupid to decide what Microsoft wants to do or what Activision wants to do and should do also, you know. You have many channels now of guys that sit over there. Legendary Drops is one of them. I saw in the beginning, I saw his videos and I was like, yeah, I like this guy, you know. He's over there not being a shill. He's against the corporation. You have several channels like that, by the way, where you first get the impression like, yeah, these guys are really against the corporations. Some of them are just lying. And then you have other ones who are constantly behind their keyboard telling what multinational corporations should do, and then telling them that everything they are doing is wrong, and you know, it's all like retarded what they are doing, and basically their whole channels are just based on that, you know. And they come with all sorts of pearls of wisdom, you know, but in reality many times those things don't really work like that, you know. And it's very easy to just behind a computer just criticize a company, and especially billion or trillion dollar companies, you know. For example, I see many Xbox fans and people also always about Microsoft, and oh man, they're doing this wrong with Game Pass, and you know, and sometimes they are forgetting that you know, Microsoft is a $1 trillion corporation, you know. And oh, that's a nice medic. He just walked straight over me without reviving me. Microsoft is a $1 trillion corporation, you know, and we need to save Xbox, and Xbox does this wrong and that wrong, and you know, they sometimes talk a little bit about Xbox, you know, forgetting, and then even themselves mentioning that they're owned by Microsoft, $1 trillion corporation, you know, not understanding, and then all the time criticizing them, and not understanding that. Let's really face it, you know. Man, I thought the guy was mine, man. That Xbox Game Pass is a gamble. Even Xbox is a gamble. They sell you Xboxes with a loss. The games, they have took them many years to start being a little bit profitable, actually, you know. It is just a gamble, and it's a way of them spending money that otherwise would be stopped in bank accounts, and it would just lose money. And the whole thing of Xbox, you know, is what people need to understand is, if Xbox tomorrow stops and the whole thing of Xbox wouldn't work out, you know, is that really the end of Microsoft? No, it's a gamble, literally. They are just gambling, you know. And they invest all this money, you know, even when you're making so much noises. Oh man, about when they bought Activision for $70 billion. Oh, this and that, and Microsoft, they're doing bad or they're doing really good, and what an investment, and this and that. But if you are a $4 trillion corporation, I think they are already in this moment, you know, you can better spend those 68 billion, you know, instead of putting them on bank accounts, because then the state takes almost everything, you know. You know, it's a gamble, basically. Microsoft, if tomorrow Xbox dies, you know, and Game Pass dies, you know, Microsoft is totally fine after that, you know. So I find sometimes I think people misunderstand it a little bit, you know. It's a gamble, basically. It's a gamble. If it works out, they make a lot of money. If it doesn't, oh yeah, whatever, you know. I mean, I see sometimes people going so, you know, and then also those YouTube channels where you have people that sit behind a computer being experts of how to manage multi-trillion or billion-dollar corporations, you know. Criticizing for them for everything, you know, but it's just a bunch of words, you know. They don't know nothing about the marketing research. They don't understand probably nothing of marketing anyway, you know. It's just like, you know. It's easy talking, you know that. It's easy to just sit there behind the computer and, criticize a little bit and pretend that, Xbox is doing everything wrong, you know. Activision is doing everything wrong, but I know it better, and it's just like, that's not the way the world works, All these so-called smartasses, Oh, you saw the Iraqi guy I played the other day with also. Holy moly. Yeah, it's really easy to just sit there behind your computer and criticize all of that without having really a notion of the whole gaming market, the research that they do. And don't forget one thing, Microsoft doesn't just have independent marketing agencies who do research for them and knows what the market wants and all those kind of things. No, it's a little bit different, Microsoft has they own Windows and Xboxes, so they have a lot of telemetry going on, where they have a lot of spying going on. And telemetry, so they have a lot of data about what's happening on the Xbox network, what's happening on PlayStation, on PC, on Windows, so they have a lot of data, they have a lot of information, and then probably even they hire still independent marketing companies to see what the market demands, what works, what doesn't, So they know what's going on, they know what the market wants, and I'm really tired of listening to these YouTubers that they know everything better, they are the owners of the truth, and they come with all their pearls of wisdom, and then all the time dunking on corporations, pretending that they are so smart and they know it better, and I find that actually starting to be a little bit ridiculous, that, and they all seem like, oh man, they are so smart, oh my god, they are smart, but it's just a bunch of words, a bunch of people saying some stuff online, and people take them, oh yes man, Legacy drops, man, he knows what's going on, it's just a dude over there, behind the webcam, just making some assumptions about things, and you just sometimes you just feel like asking to them, like, oh yeah, you and your pearls of wisdom and all your so-called knowledge, it's like kind of weird, why are you not working then at Microsoft or something, or Xbox or PlayStation, if you know all of that so good, You're understanding a little bit the craziness of that, These guys knew it all so well. It's like weird, why are you then just a YouTuber streaming some videos, if you have all this great knowledge how to turn franchises into billions and and how multi-trillion-dollar corporations should run their business. Just a second.
We have taken objective Edward.
And that kind of content I'm a little bit tired of, to be very honest. Who does that a bit also too much is Young, yeah, he also does that way too much, Hey, that was weird, you saw that over there? just jumped from one frame to the other all of a sudden. I mean, I criticize also. I criticize also, but to criticize in a different sense. I'm not going to say anything about how they should run their corporations and should do the things, you know. I have just my opinion about certain things, about the actual game and the community and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit over here saying that they should do the things in a different way, because that took a long time before you died, dude. And by the way, all their videos are by the way all the same. It's just always the same story, you know. Nintendo does this bad, Microsoft does this bad, Xbox sucks what they are doing, you know.
We have lost objective apples. Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit tired of those YouTubers, to be very honest. Those ones that talk about the business perspective, you know, the business, the marketing, that kind of stuff, you know. Even who does it sometimes also a bit that, but not in such a bad way. He keeps it a little bit more grounded, you know, and a little bit more reasonable is Luke Stevens, but the other ones are Legacy, Legendary Drops, and there's a bunch of these kinds of channels. And Young, yeah, also sometimes he's a complete shill for one corporation or one game, and then the other game he's complete dunking on, you know. And it's all a little bit, you know. It's all a little bit how you're doing. And all their videos are the same, especially the ones of Legacy Drops. All his videos are the same. He does it about Concord, deserved. He does it about Marathon, deserved. But he does it about other things also. And then I go like, yeah, I don't know about that, you know. And it's all the same story. It's he knows better how you should run your gaming company and your, you know. It's all the same story, that. Meanwhile, keeps on being a YouTuber that's in his basement, you know, making videos just as me, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna tell Microsoft what to do, you know, or what they are doing wrong, you know, because the whole gaming market is also like a very, very strange market, you know. It's very difficult to get an idea of that, you know. Even if you have lots of data, like Microsoft has, you know, they have a lot of data. Holy moly. They have a lot of data, let me tell you, Microsoft. From the Xbox platform, from Microsoft, the Windows platform, they have huge amounts of data, you know. They must really know a little bit what people are interested in, if it concerns gaming and spending money and microtransactions and all that kind of stuff, you know. I mean, if you have the access to what Microsoft has access on, if it concerns telemetry information from Xbox and Windows, you will be amazed, you know. And telling someone else how to do something from a distance, you know, I think is I think it's a little bit too easy, that, you know. I mean, unless you do it just out of a thing of I want to teach people how to do things. But when you are over there from a distance, dunking all the time on corporations and on people, but then, you know, in the end you are actually just... trying to be sort of the wise guy. Look how intelligent I am. Meanwhile, you know, I'm just throwing some words in the air. I don't change nothing. I don't work in these corporations even. And that starts for me sometimes rubbing me a little bit in the wrong way, that, to be very honest.
Our
Corporations rob me also in the wrong way. Don't get me wrong, but
Objective apples.
oh man.
Ich werfe Granate auf! Passen! Vorsicht, Jungs, ich werfe Granate!
I want to go inside over there. My God. Playing dreadful today. Actually, what are we running actually for graphics, man? I'm still in low. And what I'm also getting a little bit tired of is these React videos. These people, they don't even make any more content, man. What they grab other people's videos, you know,
Aufpassen, Granate raus!
and then they just let those videos play, and then they react a little bit on it or something, you know.
Sprengkarte!
And that for me is also like, what is wrong with these people, man? That's not making content anymore, you know. You just put some video from another content creator, you know, and then you react on it, you know. And you have now already videos where it's a react video to a react video to a react video, where you literally have then 3 faces on the screen, because the original person made the video and his face is then in the image, and then a second guy is reacting on that, and then there's a third guy reacting on the reaction video, where you have then 3 faces and things overlapped on the screen of 3 different content creators. It's ridiculous, that, you know. It really is. For me, that's not content, you know. I mean, make them some content, you know, even if it's not so great edited, even if you stumble over your words, even if you say some things 2 or 3 times, you know. I mean, be a little bit, you know.
Vorsicht jetzt! Granate ist raus! Köpfe runter!
Be a little bit original, man. Make some stuff yourself, you know. I think people are also today too fixated on everything needs to be perfect, you know. They really are too fixated on that, you know. Everything needs to be so perfect that they don't make anything, because it takes too much work to make things perfect. Unless they use like AI or something, you know. You know, it's ridiculous, that, you know. Maybe just make some content that's not so perfect. Somebody's firing on me. Is that train mine? I think it is, yeah. Yeah, I got a little bit tired of that kind of content also, you know, the reactor videos, you know. Unless you react on a very important event or something, you know, that there's no other way of doing that, you know. Like I've made a react video also about just like 40 minutes of some multiplayer stuff. And that was then the multiplayer review thing of Battlefield 6. But most of the times I really try to prevent react videos. And then a react video to a react video to, that's coming for me already completely nuts, that, you know.
Jetzt eine Granate!
Be a little more original, man, with your work, man.
Granatfässer aufs Horn zu!
And don't 12:23, Cult already 12. You know, don't have that thing that everything always needs to be perfect. You know, things don't need to be perfect. You know, especially you have a smaller channel. You know, I can understand if you have a channel where you have hundreds and thousands of subscribers, or you know, and you have a minimum every time you release a video, you have 10,000 people watching your stream. You know, or you are even representing brands or something, and you know, I can even understand that sort of urge that everything needs to be perfect and perfectly edited and perfect sound and 4K and you know, but in most cases that's not really it, you know.
Ich werfe eine Granate! Vorsicht jetzt! Fass die Granate los!
Oh, the gas took me out. We are, by the way, here on the red server. These guys play actually quite good. And the problem today with YouTube also a little bit is the algorithm. It's really bad, man. Today you cannot... Dude. How did he didn't die, man? Or somebody else killed him. And the algorithm of YouTube is now also getting really complicated. I mean, if you're a small channel and you just start now with YouTube,
We have taken objective.
it's almost basically like winning the lottery for you to have a channel that catches on, you know. The algorithm is very corporate now, very pushes only channels that have huge amount of subscribers, interactions, comments, things like that. If you're just a small channel, then oh my god, man. It's very difficult now. Unless you were there from the beginning, you know, on YouTube. Otherwise it's really difficult now for you to have a channel that gets lots of views. The algorithm is
Objective Duff.
basically racist against anybody who is a small channel with small interaction. For you to have a channel that all of a sudden really takes off, that is now in this moment really complicated.
We have lost objective Apple.
1327. Dreadful. 13 kills, 27 died 27 times. Still was a good game anyway. Yeah, today's really difficult for your YouTube channel to grow. Algorithm is very nasty. I don't talk about me because I have so little viewers that for me I don't even think about. And by the way, I want to also make that disclaimer. My channel is not about lots of clicks or likes or things like that. I would like to see, of course, more subscribers to my channel. That's always a nice thing, but I don't push for that. That's why you will never listen me saying in my YouTube videos ever, not live streams, not YouTube, like, subscribe and things like that, because I'm not interested in that. Of course, it's always nice if you see that more and more people interact and like your content, but that's not my drive. That's not what I'm doing. I make my content for fun. If people enjoy it, and then fine. I prefer to have 1,000 instead of 1,000 people that watch my content but didn't like it. I prefer to have 5 people that watch my content and actually really liked it. That's basically it. That's why you'll never listen to me asking also for donations, for likes, for subscriptions, for anything like that. E-begging, I don't like it. Begging for subscriptions or for likes. A person watches my video and likes it in one way or the other, even while it's totally crappy made or whatever, but had some enjoyment in it, liked something or could learn something from it. Like I, by the way, can also learn from my viewers. Attention, I have many viewers that teach me things, then I'm already happy, I'm not interested in that, But many people, they're completely obsessed with that, I, by the way, also for people's information, I don't use social media. I don't use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any kind of thing like that. I don't use that. So I deliberately don't use that. I don't like it. I don't want it. So the people understand that I'm not... I am anti-social media. I know YouTube is also a form of social media, but... I use another type of social media actually. I use amateur radio, that I talk with people and send pictures and text messages through the air, through the ether, as a radio amateur operator. That is my social network. But no, I'm not. I don't use those platforms. So there you go. The only thing I have is a WhatsApp account. A Telegram account where I can just call to friends cheaper and send messages cheaper, but other than that, he was in the back of me. Oh, he was over there on the front. I thought there was somebody shooting me from the back. But other than that, I'm not. I don't use those networks. I hate it. I don't think. I think even the word a social network for me is actually a wrong word, that because social networks are actually very antisocial. They cancel people. You all the time live in a world where you don't communicate directly with people, but you're just basically doing everything behind the screen, so it's very antisocial, touching a screen, a cell phone or something, and you don't meet with people, you don't interact, you don't look people in the eyes and listen to their voice in real life, So I think the name social network is actually the wrong word, because I personally think it's very antisocial, but that's just me. And I also think one thing, don't take me wrong, but I think cancel has no culture. I'm not going to explain that. Maybe people understand that or not. But I think that people who cancel people out have no culture. So cancel culture, it's also the wrong word. Because it's actually very not showing that you don't have any culture. Because if you would have culture, you wouldn't cancel people out that have a different opinion that you have, or a different religion or a different ideology, But that's just my personal opinion, So that's what I think. I think cancel has no culture. So talking about cancel culture, that's not culture. That's just you being intolerant to other cultures, to other religions, to other ways of thinking, ideologies, and it's actually anti-free speech, that because you don't let other people also give their opinion and speak their mind. Come on, medic. Thank you, son. That's what I personally think. And the reason why people today have so much cancel culture is because of the internet.
Bomba atıyorum.
It's because the internet is for you to block people, is for you to cancel people. They have taught that on the internet. Why is cancel culture so big, you know? Because they learn it on the internet. You can like, dislike, you can cancel people out, you know. It's all just things that cancel culture wasn't so big before the internet, before social networks existed, you know. They have literally learned that on the internet. Oh, whoa, 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 get the hell out of here. Go, 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 go. Where are they? They're over here somewhere.
Bu yaraların tedavi edilmesi lazım.
I don't have any more. Thanks, son. You saved my butt.
Dikkat!
We have taken objective.
They're coming through there. He's already dead. Okay, you took care of that. Yeah, they have learned it on the internet, man.
We have lost objective Edward.
Teşekkürler.
Yeah, the internet is responsible for cancel culture, for teaching people about cancel culture. It really is. I was now for a couple of weeks playing a little bit Battlefield 4 and Bad Company 2, and now I'm coming back into Battlefield 1. It's again completely different, man. It's actually really kind of, I mentioned already other videos before, it's really a bad idea to all the time play different games, because you don't learn the games, you know. Like that, you get completely out of your Harbor's mortar. Oh, 3 of them. Beauty. French spawn beacon deployed.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Bomba fırlatıyorum. Bomba atıyorum. Dikkat edin. Bomba atıyorum. Kafanıza dikkat.
We are losing objective Charlie. We have lost objective Butter. We have lost objective Charlie.
Tahrip cephaneleri.
With a shotgun, of course.
Holy moly. So many, man.
We have taken objective Charlie.
Yeah, let's stay on D.
Bakışta dikkat edin. Bomba gidiyor. Bomba fırlatıyorum. Dikkat edin.
Medic! Oh my god, he died, man. Thanks anyway. You were really trying to save me over there.
Bomba gidiyor. Bomba onlara. Aha onlara bir bomba.
We are losing objective Duff.
Oh my god, I couldn't escape.
We have taken objective apples.
Yeah, we're losing D. Yeah, the guys in the chat are lovely today also. My god. Couldn't even do nothing about that. Boy Scout 30k. Man, I swear to God, man, I think I played with this guy yesterday in Battlefield 4, man. What the hell is going on? Oh, look at this. We have a crazy bug, man. Look at that. What was that all about, man? That was a crazy glitch, man. I've never seen that. That was mental. Yeah, Boy Scout 40k I've played Battlefield 4 with, and that was like yesterday or the day before. I really recognize that name, Boy Scout 40k. Come on guys, just boom it up, man.
Bomba atıyorum. Hazır olun. Bomba gönderiyorum.
Objective Duff.
Medic!
Bomba atıyorum. Çabuk olun. Cephanelerini kurdum.
Need ammo, need life, man. Give me life, give me life. Can't see anything with that smoke me in.
Return to the combat area.
$6.14, not good at all. Go see.
We have taken objective butter.
Went really kamikaze. What are you laying here around for about, man? What is that all about?
Charlie.
How did he survive that? Interesting.
We have lost objective Edward.
Now we need to get the E. With the shotgun again. It's Mr. Shotgun. KD is what? 818. Not good at all. Let's go here to the begin point. The internet is now gonna change like crazy anyway.
We have lost objective Dove.
Oh god. Some language over there I cannot even understand. That's something like Indonesian or something. Buamuniku, whatever that is. I don't know what language is that, but something like from Asia or something. The internet is going to change now in the next half a year to a year completely anyway. They're going to everywhere introduce mass surveillance and everything needs to be done to protect the children, you know.
We have taken objective Edward.
Today I'm really clumsy, man. I don't know what I have today. I climbed a little bit up already. Today was really for playing really chill. Got him. These monkeys are all hanging over. Oh my god, come on, medic, medic, medic. Interesting language is that.
Dikkat edin. Bomba atıyorum. Kafanıza dikkat edin. Bomba atıyorum. Dikkat edin.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 of them over there. 1022, still terrible, terrible KD. Who's the guy who's using the mortar? Name? Abdallah. It's this Turkish guys or so. Turkish probably, maybe the language we just saw, but didn't really seem like it. Well, I was already several times killed by a mortar like that, so...
Bomba atıyorum. Dikkat edin. Bomba atıyorum. Çabuk olun. Bomba gidiyor.
We have taken objective Duff.
Gotcha! 1323. Medic!
Pekala. Teşekkürler.
Somewhere over there is hanging around.
Yaralıyım.
Holy moly, give me some life, son. Ah, my god. 1323.
We are losing objective Edward.
Yeah, it's almost the end of the round.
We have lost objective Edward.
Edward, so go here. They're hanging on Edward. D, we have to take D. Don't let them take D, man. You take that. You take this, and I'll take that. Son of a bitches are hanging over there somewhere.
Çabuk olun. Bomba atıyorum.
1425.
The enemy controls all objectives.
Yeah. The enemy controls all objective, but we are higher in score. That's interesting. It's completely distracted. It's almost the end of the round even. Victory. Okay guys, I'm gonna leave it for here for now. Thanks very much for watching and listening. I hope you stay safe and I hope to catch you in the next video. Cheers and beers. Catch you next time.